Yeah. Good evening and welcome everyone here to the Nightfall League semifinals match between Fruition Esports and Lakeside Gaming. I am Gas Pump, joined by my fantastic co-caster, Elustic, and we are here for a dynamite set of games. Fruition versus Lakeside, of course, semifinals winner here of this best of three is going to head to the finals of the Nightfall League. With that being said, Pro Draft already underway. Take it away from here, Elustic.
Yeah, we're already seeing some interesting picks, some interesting bands as well. The Silas coming out pretty huge MSI in the recent tournament. Had I believe 100% pick or play rate, so no surprise there that it's getting banned out. Nautilus also coming in. That's brought up huge lately, especially in the mid lane role. Morgana and Kaisa is going to be locked in the bottom for Fruition. Morgana, even though receiving some pretty bad nerfs to her E, still pretty strong bot laner. And the Sivir is going to come in for that spell shield against most of the Morgana queue. Kennen now coming in as a ban from LSG, hopefully targeting the top laner. Maybe that Jarvan or Nautilus is going to go top.
All right, so talking about some other picks here, let's talk about the bans going on. You're going to be seeing the Yorick, the Corki, the Rise, and the Orianna banned away by Fruition Esports. Meanwhile, Irelia, Silas, Kha'Zix, Kennen, and one more still to go for Lakeside Gaming. That being said, I'm curious to see what bands are going to be coming through here. I mean, you spoke about it yourself, Elustic. The Nautilus, a power pick to be sure. Aftershock has been nerfed, of course, so that pick is not quite as high priority, and there's a fair chance that we do see that going into the support role in this game for Lakeside. When paired with the Sivir, a very strong lane in terms of the CC lockdown potential coming on through there, and that on the hunt ult from the Sivir, a major tool as far as getting into these engagements goes, and be able to speed up the Nautilus as well as the Jarvan to get into these fights, looking to lock down some of these priority targets like the Kaisa, like the Morgana, who, if you can catch Kaisa out without the killer instinct or a target to zoom to, she could be certainly annihilated there. And the Nico pick going into the mid lane, almost certainly for Lakeside Gaming. That Pop Blossom ult does mondo damage.
Now, this Nico pick's going to be a little bit interesting because I want to see if we're going to go with the standard AP Nico or if we're going to do that on-hit Nico that's been taken over the top lane as of recent.
Right, absolutely. And this one is going to be tough, especially since we do see that Urgot locked in for Fruition Esports. That's a very strong choice overall. And I mean, the solo lane power of that Urgot as well as the execute coming on through from that Fear Beyond Death, able to grind up that target, and don't underestimate the power of the Fear Bomb from that ultimate being cast in the middle of a team fight, sending people scattering. It's a huge CC tool, especially when you don't expect it. Seen one last pick coming on through. Fruition, of course, getting the Braum there as the support paired with the Kaisa. Certainly a strong choice of the auto-attack heavy competition they're going to be going through. And that is going to be a Morgana mid lane. An unorthodox pick to be certain. And with that Azir lock-in, it is confirmed to be a Nico matching that Urgot in the top lane, Azir going mid lane. Lots of damage coming through for Lakeside Gaming's composition. Fruition Esports with a little bit less traditional setup here, all things considered, with that Morgana mid, but they're looking to pop off early with the Olaf jungle, and then do some real work here in the early game. All right, should be getting into Champion Select proper here. So, be back in just a minute while that Champion Select proper is going on through. Be back for you in just a couple minutes with the live audio into the game. We'll see you all here in just a few more moments. Hey, good evening and welcome everyone. We are here for the first game of this series, Fruition versus Lakeside Gaming. Lakeside, of course, starting off on that red side. This is a best of 3, so a minimum of 2 of these games required by one of these teams to take it home tonight. With that being said, both teams running off the fountain here for an absolutely dynamite game of League of Legends. All right, seeing both squads fanning out in that classic 5-point line of scrimmage here. Going to be seeing this Nico top lane. I am very interested to see how Ratload is going to play this lane against now on that Urgot. Urgot certainly a force to be reckoned with, especially further into the game, but the Nico's auto attacks and on-hit build coming through can prove to be quite a menace if left alone in that split push and able to kind of dodge, juke, and jive out of some of these fights.
And I feel like the Nico's going to have a better time in the top lane than a lot of other top laners would, because Urgot historically does better into the melee top laners. So having a ranged top laner just CS and get a little bit of harass back should be an easier time for Lakeside.
Yeah, without a doubt on that one. And curious to see how this plays. One of the big things to really mention here is that Urgot's machine gun now lasts for, I believe, an infinite amount of time. It just guns someone down until they escape or it... the Urgot leaves or cancels the ability.
Yep. The other thing I'm noticing too is the fact that because of this Morgana in the mid lane, that Lakeside is already down a TP advantage because the Azure has to go the cleanse. I want to see how that's going to affect later on in the game, having a 2 TP advantage to 1.
I think a big thing to keep in mind as well is the fact that if you're looking at the sheer damage department, Azir is going to win that 100% versus the Morgana. Yes, you have the Dark Binding, you have the pool. The ultimate is certainly a large amount of burst damage coming on through, but Azir's sustained damage with those Sand Soldiers coming on through and the added mobility that he is granted by the potential for the Streamer Shuffle, certainly a massive tool if this game goes past about that 25-minute mark.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to have a lot more damage coming out on the side of Lakeside, but I think they're going to, on the other side, they're going to want to look for picks. They got this Morgana, the Braum, the Olaf. They're going to want to try and look for picks and try and see what advances they can get from that side.
For sure, that's a big deal. We'll see how that goes coming on through here, and we'll be seeing a bit of an unsafe clear here as well from the Morgana, that is, pardon me, from the Jarvan, dropping very low, going through that jungle there. Does still have the smite up, will probably look for the Krugs, and Pretty uneventful early game here, just kind of farming it out here at the 3-minute mark. Both of these junglers want to get a little bit further. I'm surprised we didn't see any level 2 shenanigans from the Jarvan, but I can respect wanting to play a little bit slower in this first match of the series.
Just noticing this now too. The Jarvan didn't start a warding totem, went straight for that Oracle's. Gonna lose out a little bit of vision, trying to maybe get some counter jungling in.
Ooh, Olaf coming on down here, looking for that axe onto Yuki Bunny. No spell, she can be forcing the flash. Looking for maybe a little bit more, but easy walk away from that Nautilus support. Boom Hunter just wandering out, but still that flash down for Yuki Bunny is a major issue. If the regank comes through that Sivir without the mobility option, certainly capable of being locked down here, but look at that harass under the tower from Ratload on that Nico.
And this is kind of what I was talking about before. Nico being the range and being able to poke out the Urgot has a much easier time than some other Urgot's traditional opponents.
For sure. And I think that's one of the reasons why we saw this pick coming through. I mean, if you're really looking to handle this Urgot in lane and do some work there, I think it's a very wise choice overall. And putting this Urgot on the back foot, forcing now to play on the defensive as this champion that is generally so lane dominant in those melees, certainly could be a big momentum boost for this Lakeside Gaming squad.
Jarvan heading down to the bot side. No clamps to keep, or no camps to clear, so it might try and look for a gank, but Fruition has it pretty warded up, so I don't think a whole lot's going to come out of this.
Be looking for it. They are going to get the root in onto the Kai'Sa. Jarvan coming on down. Phoenix main. Ignite is going to get popped, but here's Dorjan looking for the counter again. Coming on through. There's the flag, and going to get the pop-up. Will be looking for the Loki-Dosi on the back line. That's going to be Phoenix main. Getting that stun on down. First blood, picking up one. Looking for another one. Coming on through. They get that. That is going to be 3 kills going in exchange for 1. And what a huge fight. Tilted coming down with that teleport, closing things out. And Fruition takes the fight in commanding style.
Yeah, and that was what I was kind of saying with the teleport. Like, Azure just couldn't get there fast enough because he has to take the cleanse for the lane matchup, puts them at a man advantage in teamfights and stuff like that breaks out.
And I mean, the big thing there is the Azir has to take that, and that's simply a consequence of being warded out and forcing a gank. Darkcat had no business trying for that one, and it cost them big.
It helps it too that Yuki Bunny's flash was taken out before from the previous gank, so they didn't have a whole lot in terms of escape.
Oh, look at that damage. Ratload going for the flash under the tower. There's the shield from the Urgot, barely escaping with his life.
And even though Urgot's getting pushed out of lane here, they can use that to their advantage because he didn't blow flash, so that is a flash advantage on the side of Fruition.
Right, and that was, I think, Ratload getting a little hyphy there with the attempt coming on through with that flash in, and it's a major cooldown blown on this Nico, especially with that level 6 coming up 4 now, getting a fatty trade. Fear Beyond with the major tool. Dorjan is here. We'll be clearing out that pink ward. Fighting on this bottom side of the map is pretty constant here, but I don't blame him with the power points that both of these squads have on the side of the map, despite the difficulties encountered in that first major fight for Lakeside.
The ADC on the side of Fruition is going tier Kai'Sa too, a new build that we've started to see recently popping up. Getting that tier on Kai'Sa for the mana regen and going into one of the tier items.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I've heard why that's so popular is because of the Manamune's conversion, giving you much easier access to a 2-item Kai'Sa Q evolve, I believe is one of the main reasons for that as far as transforming goes. Alright, so a bit of a lull here at the 7-minute mark of the game. First Dragon is air, not exactly a high priority, and going to be seeing that blue buff donation to the Morgana. And as far as creep score goes, both teams are pretty even, but those 2 kills advantage that we do see in that fight early on just a few minutes ago, giving that 1,000 gold advantage to the side of Fruition. We'll see how they push it as we get further into this match.
Blue buff from the side of Lakeside Gaming also going to that Azure. Trying to just scale for late game, trying to just push out the waves, but the Morgana going top lane with Olaf.
Looking for a gank down here with that J4. Flag and Drag is available. We'll just walk it on out there. Darkcat did not have the routing on in there. believe they did kind of call that play coming up through, but they're looking for Ratlow to get us the fear. Beyond that, they find that that's going to be a Pop Blossom, but a dead Nico ground up into Chameleon Burgers. It's now picking up his first of the game.
Yeah, Fruition on the side here, just getting in those roams, getting in. They're going to be punished, though, because Lakeside, since they saw the Olaf tops, now going to go for this Air Drake, which from Lakeside is actually going to help them a lot, especially with that Civarol, because that movement speed on top of the Civarol, it's going to make them charge at Fruition really fast.
Right, but I think that if you're Fruition Gaming, getting a kill on this Urgot in this specific matchup at this point of the game is more than worth giving up that Air Drake. I think that if you're looking at the win conditions provided by both of these teams, Fruition has dedicated themselves to a pre-30-minute victory. That's what the team comp does. That's what they want to do. If it goes too much later than that, going to be problems.
Yeah, you run into the problems of the Sivir just having extreme wave clear late in the game, and the Azure just starting to take over once he gets all his core items.
Mm-hmm. This is a race against the clock for Fruition, but Lakeside wants this to go long. We'll see if they can make it there. Things looking a little rough so far in this early game, but as long as they can hold on to control and not lose much in the way of towers, certainly a good opportunity for them to take this one. All right, so here we are, 9 minutes, 15 seconds into the game. Rowlet once again pushing up top here. Urgot having to forfeit the CS, and this is just a consequence of that bad matchup for the Urgot. Not a lot that now can do here, and really what I'd like to see here in the next few minutes is, with Rift Herald spawning, that's a great opportunity to get knocking on one of these outer towers and really start getting offensive vision down to help take over the game. So, but going on into the bot lane, Loki Dosi going to be popping some damage onto him. Bramwell goes out to dissuade them. We see Olaf here for the counter gank. Looking to set up a attempt here. Not going to have any vision down there. Boom Hunter. Going to get that ward down. Will be able to back on off. He's going to get cleared. And no, neither team the worse for wear. All said and done here in this bottom lane. You with me, buddy?
Yeah, I feel like if they could have gone Lakeside to push in more, maybe waited a little bit longer. Tilted just got his TP back up, so they could have looked for another play in the bot side. But we're looking at the Jarvan in the top lane.
Yeah, setting up for that gank attempt. Dorian going to be getting some damage dealt to him by that Azir in the mid lane, just kind of crossing on over. Looking to maybe make a play on the top side of things. Got a ward. Clear that, and again, we've hit kind of a point of equilibrium. It's not going to be an easy gank, but Dorjan getting collapsed on. There's two there. Going to have the unstoppable. Just slow down. There's a cataclysm. What a great flash on out from the Olaf. Tilted does have that garden hose on deck already. The GLP shooting those chilly ice blasts out. Not going to lock anyone down. Of course, Urgot not in position. Just looking to ward off the play, and Dorjan going to get chased down by Darkcat here. Pop-up going on through. Here comes the Nico. Dorjan overstaying. Will go down. Darkcat picking that one up. Urgot coming through as well for the Pop Blossom from the Morgana. There's going to be the second activation of the ult. You see the Urgot whiffing on that Fear Beyond Death, and 2 kills going over to Lakeside. Maybe looking for this Urgot with the Shrima Shuffle on cooldown. Members of Lakeside Gaming will back off, and they're ready to take that fight in the enemy team's jungle.
Yeah, Lakeside just seemed a little bit more coordinated there, just all around grouping up, going for the same target, where Fruition kind of was split up. We had the Urgot near the top side, Olaf was trying to back, and then Tilted come in a little bit late.
Right, Darkcat is up here looking for the repeat gank, but Fear Beyond Death is down. That's a route on to now. It surprises me that they're not trying for this fight, but Jarvan fairly low, Rat Load, and his jungler both down the ultimates. No flashes available. Looking for the teleport here down into the bottom lane to ward this off. It's going to be Tilted, breaking off that play. Maybe looking for Boom Hunter. Does get that hook to safety. We'll see the Olaf pick up that Scuttle Crab there, and hotly contested Smite fight.
Yeah, I'm not entirely too sure why they didn't go in on Neo in the top lane. He was fairly far up, and even though they were both low, I think the two of them together, especially where Urgot only has the phage, could have definitely have taken that as a kill.
Mm-hmm. Better safe than sorry, and I really like seeing teams who are on the aggressive being able to pump the brakes on some of these plays and not get too overconfident with their ability to take fights, even when they have just won a fight. Play that conservative play and not make any mistakes here, and that's where I like to see some of that play. Going to be seeing the Nico up here. Olaf does have that smite, will be a pretty easy take of that Rift Herald going on over the way of Fruition. That could be good to pop some of these plates before they fall off. Just 30 seconds left on that. We'll see if that ends up being the choice for this Fruition squad. Oh, that's the Ignite going down from the Nautilus onto Braum. Force him to back on off. They're going to need that Scry's Bloom pop. And maybe look for the Drake take. Believe it is a second air currently up this game. No, Inferno instead.
Yeah, you could tell with the more contested Drake that a lot of the teams are fighting for Vision now. Inferno is probably one of, if not the highest contested Drake. So both teams are going to want to try and get this. Both teams are trying to establish Vision.
For sure, and we're going to see this Rift Herald popped in the bottom lane with that shoving lane. Should at least get this tower real low, and I mean, this could be a big pickup. Yeah, I don't think there's any way they can defend this properly. That tower already very low, down to about 25%. Just a few more auto attacks would be enough to pop that, but they're going to be forced to back on off. Darkette is here, but half health on the J4 as Azir begins to roam down towards the bottom, towards that dragon. Maybe looking for a play there. Patty's wagon is going to get flashed on by the Urgot, finding the damage. Looking for the Fear Beyond Death. Will find that. Azir going into the grinder, picking that one up now. Already got one on the table. Pop from the Brombolt already going down. That's going to be Ratload picking up one of his own. But this Camille slowed down. Will be eating this Braum passive stun coming through. Will drop now, picking up a second in this fight. Now 3-0, looking for this damage onto the mid lane tower in this 3 versus 4. But the Dragon is the call instead as they back up towards that objective.
Yeah, that Fear Beyond Death coming from that Urgot on the Azure too is pretty huge because as soon as Nico TP'd and popped the Pop Blossom, she got feared, so her Pop Blossom didn't really hit anything.
And that's, again, the power of that Fear Beyond Death if you get the target. I mean, yeah, could have been classified as a KS onto the Azir, but it's more important that you get that Fear Bomb off because, again, it set up that second kill to go onto the Nico and also guarantee them that Dragon take. With the Olaf rolling on down here towards the bottom, this first tower is also a given here. There's no real defending this objective in this particular setup. And that first tower gold going to propel Fruition now to a 2,000 gold lead. The first truly major lead of this game.
Yeah, not much Lakeside could do on that end. The Braum shield to stop a lot of the Sivir clear. Couldn't really let her clear the wave, so they just kind of had to back off and let them take it.
For sure. And what I really like seeing is I like seeing this Morgana go for that Hextech GLP first, really providing that extra utility. Because, again, Morgana's cooldown's very high. The burst is the only real major damage you'll be seeing out of that. Ooh, Sivir popping that on the hunt. And quite a lot of damage to the Dorjian, who just has that Cinder Hulk enchantment and a longsword on top. Not a lot in terms of defenses there, at least currently.
Yeah, we're also seeing the lane swap in from Fruition, sending that Urgot down to the bot side. Braum's kind of hanging around mid with the Morg, but Kai'Sa's all up top by her alone. I'm wondering if Lakeside is going to send the Nico down by. It looks like they are.
Yeah, they have to respond to that Urgot somehow. Now 3-0. Despite the advantages that Ratload found in the top lane in the early game, Urgot with that Spectre's Cowl and more importantly the Black Lever is more than a force to be reckoned with. And has to be answered by someone who can even try to contain him. I mean, I think the Azir could potentially, but that damage is just enormous. And Nico's ability to get away from these fights are pretty important as far as staying alive is concerned. All right, that being said, 17 minutes on the clock. Do see just a 1 tower lead, 2,000 gold approximately up. Baron spawning in about 2.5 minutes. That'll be a major objective, and it's worth mentioning that the team that's got this Azir on it, if they end up in position of a Mountain Drake at any point, that immediately opens up the ability for them to fast take this Baron, which is such a huge threat, especially as this Fruition team is going to be looking to take these advantages and try to end the game as soon as possible. Good for Dark Cat here. Eats a couple of axes, but doesn't have the position to follow up on that play. Spooky Ghost coming out from the Morgana. We've seen that Glacial Augment rolling on through, looking for follow-up play, but Kaiser's going to get the clear, and they siege up this top lane tower.
Smart play by Neo, too, moving up to that mid lane. Realizing the team was moving top, he pushed in the wave and then went to go cover mid lane to make sure that Azure could not push the wave in when Tilted went.
So, with that being said, I mean, the push coming up top lane, this is kind of a stalling point of the game. I mean, Fruition has an advantage, but it's not overwhelming by any stretch of the imagination, and a lot of this will come down to the next fight that either of these teams really look to take and set up. I mean, the ability for them to clear out this wave is nice, but Sivir's ability to just smash through those creeps with the Ricochet, with the Boomerang Blade, can't be underestimated. Be going that shield down to Kathleen Rain coming on through there. Sivir dropped a half. Morgana coming on through. That's the Black Shield forcing the flash. Does have the move speed. Yuki Bunny going to get locked down. Will fall. One more attack from Tilted. Takes that kill. Coming on through. Looking for Dark Cat. Braum passive going on through. Finds the stun. Finds the damage. Hourglass popped. Waiting it out. That's the binding. That's the double kill. Phoenix Main popping the Hourglass. They may want some more of this. Maybe looking for a potential Nautilus hook. But no. Top lane is the call in another fight victory for Fruition. And the top lane off the dive.
Good play by Phoenix there, too. Tanking up as much as he could so his teammates didn't have to. And then knowing he had that Hourglass in case anything happened. Really smart play by him.
Yeah, and I love seeing that aggression. But that measured, calculated, tempered aggression of being in control of the play, going in when you know you can go in, and being able to leverage those advantages to help you win a fight or get bonus advantages. I mean, Yuki Bunny just got ran down by the Morgana there, and a lot of that comes down to the damage that the Sivir took at the start of that fight. Also a little bit out of position, not respecting the ability for this Fruition team to just mash go on the jam box and scream on into a fight.
Yeah, and the Fruition having a huge, well, not hugely, but a lead here makes it so easy for that Morgana to just roam either top or bot and get those picks. And the Zera kind of just has to stay mid. He has to keep farming. He's not at his power spike yet. He's getting there soon. So I want to see if once he gets a little bit stronger, if he'll be able to roam down more. Looks like they're setting up for this dragon.
Starting this dragon down to about half health already, looking for a potential engage here. Nico looking for the Pop Blossom, finds it onto 3. The damage is there. They lock up that dragon, maybe looking for a fight, forced to back on off. Now in the pit, going in, face first, looking for an engage, coming on down. There's Patty Swag, gonna get tagged by that. Will have to pop the cleanse. Forced to go on back. Yuki Bunny picking up Dorjan. Boom Hunter maybe now in trouble, but it's now looking for the backline. Flashing in on Patty Wagon, getting the damage. It's going to be a kill. Taking up Patty Swag. Maybe looking for Yuki Bunny on that Sivir. Will eat that Braum passive, but here's into the backline. It's going to be Dark Cat. Canceled with that Cataclysm. It's going to be Ratload looking for maybe some more, but it's just Yuki Bunny and the top laner. Health bar is blinking. It ends up being a total of a 2-4-3. As well as the dragon. Trade ends up being even at the end of the day.
Even though that was a 2-for-3, I did like seeing...
Oh, that's going to be the engage coming on through here. Looking for that Sivir Ratload. Easily able to get the kill there. They lock that down. Oh, my lord! The garden hose coming up. Clutch. It's going to be Ratload getting that snare, getting that damage on down to now. Looking to run it over. Does have that pink ward in the bush right there. Nico completely out of mana. Going to be looking for Olaf. Going to be sending her over the wall and Ratload on city. No, but that's the fear beyond death. A shutdown for the Urgot off the snipe. And the fight comes out truly in favor of Fruition.
Even though Fruition did win that fight, though, I think it looked a lot closer than a couple of the other fights we've seen. Partly because Azera was there, but I think it's also part of because Lakeside's starting to get a couple of those power spikes. Azera coming out with the Stinger might be able to do a little bit more damage. Sivir has that Essence Reaver.
And that Essence Reaver, a major item. I really like to point out the fact that Ratload had a fantastic Pop Blossom in that fight, getting a ton of damage to lockdown. I feel like if Lakeside had followed up on that, that is 100% a fight victory, but they were a little slow to that. I mean, if Azir and the Jarvan both go at the same time, get their damage down, Cataclysm comes through, that is, without a doubt, a fight victory, but Wishes and horses. You know, if wishes were horses, that's the one.
Fruition getting some Baron vision, getting ready for this next big objective that's coming up.
Right, and I mean, this could be a major play for them. Again, 23 minutes on the clock. Baron's certainly on the table for both of the squads. As you're now with that Stinger, getting that bonus attack speed. Looking for the Gnasher's Tooth here very soon. Be a major lock-in for that Azir, especially if that is going to be purchased before the Baron fight comes on through there. Worth mentioning, we're seeing the Twin Shadows Garden Hose build from both mid and top laners.
Both Tilted and Neo, too, having their TPs up, so they're going to try and push the sideways while the others look for a pick. They'll just have the TP advantage so they can collapse.
Okay, they do not have vision of this starting, but they have a hunch. Going to get warded on out. They do see this Baron being started, but the members just aren't in position yet. J4 still a ways out. Going to be looking for the fight. That's going to be the binding, landing in onto the Nautilus, going for the occasion. I think that's charged down, but they already pick up one kill. Looking for a second one. That's now in the front line. Pop Blossom coming through. Will hit two with that, but the health isn't there. That's a kill on an Nico. Dark Cat going to the back line, looking for that Cataclysm, looking for that play. Will go in. Loki Doshi takes care of Yuki Bunny on the backside, looking for another. It's a triple for Dorjan. Even more coming on through. It's the ace. 5-0 for Fruition as they turn to Baron.
Yeah, a lot of that fight was just Fruition being grouped up, and it looked like Lakeside was kind of just going in one by one. Let them get pick off real easy, especially with this comp that Fruition's running with the Morg and the Braum. It's just really easy to take out enemies, especially like that.
Oh, certainly. And, I mean, this is going to be an easy Baron pickup. Now extending that lead out to the 7,500 mark when this Baron buff. The mediocre siege of Fruition becomes a lot more potent. And they're going to be looking down to knock down some of these inhibitors, get some real presence on the map as far as closing this game out is concerned. And if you look at that Kai'Sa, already 3 items. Loki Doshi is such a beast right now.
Next track that's coming up is that Water Drake too, and Fruition's going to want to get this because it's going to help their mediocre seeds out a lot if they can just go back and regen while they're waiting for waves.
Right. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that this Ocean Drake is second fiddle to getting towers down while you still have this Baron buff up. And it's going to be important to use this Baron as well as you can. You're going to want Urgot split pushing in the top lane, looking for these towers, looking to get pressured on, get this standing gold, and then turn those advantages into the ability to crack the enemy team's base. Now, it's worth mentioning the wave clear on the side of Lakeside is enormous. They will, of course, have to seed some of these outer towers. There's no real way to defend these. They're going to be looking for Dark Cat. The engage coming on through here. Ratload can't quite lock down the snare. Morg Binding's just flying all across the board. That's a depth charge going to Loki Doshi. He's going to get popped up. For that backline, Pop Blossom coming on through. Will get stopped, but the damage is in. Morg will fall. Teleport coming in from now. Wants that Fear Beyond Death, but Kai'Sa in the backline obliterating them. Fear Beyond Death isn't going to lock down the target 100%, but Ratload forced on back. That's a Fear Beyond Death. That's the Fear with the Flesh. That's the ace coming through. It's a 5-for-1. Fruition once again taking the fight.
And again, Neo with that Fear by Death, just fearing the Nico, making sure that he can't really go anywhere. It's just coming up huge in these fights.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Ratlow tried to flash on out, but there was no way out of that. And now, with the presence of mind to drag that is here right back into the Nico's face for that Fear Bomb, that's going to be a clean inhibitor take there. And, I mean, Tilted lost his life, sure, in that Morgana, but got off the damage, got off a snare. And it's worth mentioning that there was a great snare from that Morgana that stopped the Pop Blossom from Ratload cold dead before it could come in. Only hit a couple of lower priority targets. So, man.
Fruition gonna look to take this Ocean Drake. Now that Baron's probably gonna be coming down shortly, they're gonna need something else to help them see.
And I mean, I feel like this Ocean Drake is just kind of a, well, we've got everything we want. That's fine. We'll grab this, head back to base, get the reset, pick up our final items, then make for that last push. We already see now, heading up in the top lane, gonna be shoving that in. I see a potential for a very strong 4-1 setup here from these squads. Worth mentioning that Tilted does not have the Baron. Baron will be timing out in just a few moments if it hasn't already.
Fruition on the bot side might be looking to collapse on this Nico. They are sending 3 down there.
Right, they are going to get spotted out, and they do have quite a lot of damage. Loki Doshi Be there momentarily. Urgot needs to be real careful, though, because now could be in major trouble. 3 coming in for the collapse. Does still have that tower. No flash available. Sivir damage is big. Looking for the teleport top lane from the Morgana. Coming on through. Already down to half health. It's going to be the channel coming in from Tilted. Popping that binding. Finding the damage. Looking for the engage, but that's the CC train rolling on through, but does get the kill. And onto that Sivir, trading 2 for 1, which isn't great, but the main body of the team still pushing up that bottom lane. Going to need those recalls to come in real soon. Just taking their sweet time. It's just Azir and the Nico defending. Pop Blossom is available, but no flash. Does have that CC coming on through there, looking for the snare. Can't quite find it and forced to back on off.
Yeah, they can't really see it against Azir so a whole lot because he is doing a lot of damage now. You saw when Olaf went for the tower, poked him out. Starting to get really strong in these fights.
Oh, for sure on that one, but at the same time, still looking at about a 10,000 gold lead for the side of Fruition. And despite the fact that their comp is beginning to fall off in terms of power, this is a really desperate situation for Lakeside Gaming. With that downed inhibitor, it's going to make warding and controlling that Baron pit very, very difficult. Baron should be respawning the next minute or two. It'd be a major pickup. Getting that second Baron, worth mentioning, the Baron power does scale with multiple Barons taken. Oh, that feels so bad for Darkcat. Going to be popping that Brommel, looking to force him on down. Oh, that's the Fear Beyond Death! No! Is going to take down, but... Oh, he was too far away for the Urgot ult? I don't understand.
I'm not exactly sure what happened there, because I'm pretty sure once you hear Fear Beyond Death, you can just activate. I don't think there's insane, like...
I don't think you can get away from it. That looks like a bug to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It might maybe have not been enough to hit him.
No, it was more than enough to kill him damage-wise. I don't know why that's so strange. Is there a range on Fear Beyond? I thought it was like once you got the hook into him. Maybe it was close enough to get the hook in, but not close enough to... I don't understand. It's weird. But then there's also Braum interactions, which is... something that Urgot has sort of had issues with. Ooh, Nico maybe looking to go in there. Will eat the clone binding. Classic. Baron now just about 30 seconds off from spawning. Going to be seeing Lakeside Gaming picking up some of those standing gold across the map. That's 2 towers down, helping to equalize some of that gold advantage still. Nearly 9,000 gold down, which is a tough place to be, especially with this Baron now spawning.
Yeah, both teams right here are going to contest revision of that Baron. Fruition with the lead is going to want to try and take this and hopefully close out the game with it. Lakeside is going to have to try and contest. Fruition's starting it, and they have the vision of it now, so they know it's...
Right. Oh, that was such a good denial on the blast cone. J4 may be looking to go into the pit there. Phoenix main in the front lines. Are they going to try for the contest? This would be a 50-50. It's dropping very, very low already. Baron's health at sub 4,000. Looking for the binding coming on there. J4 does have the position to potentially go in. They're stalling us out, taking quite a lot of Baron damage. They're looking for the fight instead. Tilted. Gonna be dropped so low. Doesn't even get a chance to pop the ult, but here's the fight. Pop coming in. What a huge ult from the Nico! Azir going through, finding the damage in his turn that they're looking for. The resurrection is coming through. Now is still alive, getting the Fear Beyond Death, but not under the right target. It's taken by the clone. Coming on through. That's 4 down already. The revive coming through for Urgot. What a huge turn for Lakeside! They get the ace. They turn towards Baron and potentially turn this game around on its head.
Huge fight for Lakeside there. That Pop Blossom and the Jarvan all coming in huge. I think that was either a 5 or a 4-man Pop Blossom, right, Latlord there.
Holy moly, that was an incredible play. 5 for nothing. They'll look for the dragon. This is the last one before that Infernal spawns, and getting that 3-dragon Infernal, certainly a win condition for this team that is looking to go late and go long. That mid inhibitor already respawning, and this is the point of stabilization that Lakeside so desperately needed to come back into this game, all off of a great pick onto that Morgana. Tilted. No chance to make a fight on that one, and this is just a huge turn.
And yeah, that was a perfect place to fight for Lakeside, because a lot of their abilities are going to end up hitting multiple people. That Jarvan Flag and Drag, the Sivir Ricochet, even the Nautilus Saw, if you hit it on a far enough topic, like those are gonna hit multiple people. So a small area like right behind Baron Pit is a perfect place to fight.
All right,
Gonna
gonna
see a
be seeing a
timeout coming in.
classic pause coming through here. Looking like there has been a slight issue. Looks like Patty Swaggin had a disconnect or technical issue. Should be back in a few more minutes. But I want to talk about this here real quick. I think that if you're looking at the way for Fruition to close this out, because again, they're in the lead, though that gold gap is shrunken to just 2,500, down from 10K. I think it comes down to getting a pick. Gotta be looking for that.
Comes down to getting a pick, and I think the later they stall this out, the more it looks in Lakeside's favor too. Because like we were talking about this, it's a fight against the clock here. The longer this game drags out, Lakeside's just going to be able to clear those waves easily. It's just going to be with the Azura and the Sivir, two of probably the best wave clears in the.
All right, so you want to talk about a Cinderella story? Fruition's team turns back into a pumpkin at 30 minutes, okay? The problem is you've got the Olaf, you've got the Morgana. Those are two champions whose effectiveness drastically decreases the longer the game goes on because of those long cooldowns and Olaf, just being Olaf. So you've got this thing where the Azir has come online now at the 3 nearly 4 item mark. Nico's Pop Blossom is a preposterously powerful area of effect ult. Going to be up for all of these team fights, and Sivir's area of effect damage across the team fight with the ricochet, with those boomerang blades, is just nutty.
Yeah, especially because it's an AP Nico too.
Right.
We're not seeing the on hit. The Pop Blossom does way more damage. Because the problem with on hit is sure it does damage, but with Pop Blossom, it's more just for the snare. It's not so much the damage you get.
Right, and I mean, the Zhonya's, all of these tools are designed to catch up and slow down a team so you do get that clutch Pop Blossom, which they find. Now, what's worth mentioning is that this Baron is really not going to do anything other than stall this game out, which, fair's fair, that's a huge advantage and a big thing to get if you are this Lakeside Gaming squad, but it's not going to end the game by itself. With the way and the pace of this game, I think that the next major battle that we see is going to be around one of these game-ending buffs, either a third Baron or this first Infernal Drake.
Yeah, most of these fights have been around these neutral objectives, the Baron and the Dragon. I think it's going to be one of these that ends the game, but for Lakeside, you kind of can't get these up. If Fruition gets a whole lot more of these, it's just going to be a closed game for them. So Lakeside, you have to fight for these.
Right, and I mean, they want to fight for these. That's the thing. I mean, despite being down 3,000 gold, you have champions who are so much better at team fighting and winning these 5v5s that you are willing to take a fight as long as it's not at disadvantage. The trick is going to be, if you're Fruition, setting up around these objectives, getting the good vision control on down there. Phoenix Main doing his best for this, but like getting that vision control and then trying to force out a favorable fight after you have the pick.
Yeah, and another key factor is, too, keeping these waves pushed. Right now, Lakeside has huge wave clear, but if you can keep those waves pushed long enough, they might not be able to contest some of these like greater objectives, like this Elder Drake that's coming up.
It's also worth mentioning Loki Dosi is a major threat on this Kai'Sa. The Sivir certainly scaling up into a huge threat as well. But if Loki Dosi is allowed to freely shoot those auto attacks in a team fight, will just mulch the members of this Lakeside squad.
Yeah, if you keep letting these Sivers get free autos off, she's just going to destroy these team fights. So I think what Fruition really has to do is they have to get probably the Olaf just to lock on to this Sivir and just make sure that she can't really auto anyone besides him. He might end up dying for it, but I think that might be their best chance at winning a team fight.
Well, you've also got Guardian Angels coming back off cooldown. Urgot and Olaf both invested into those, and within the next approximately 40 seconds, we'll see those live. I really like that they're clearing out vision around this Elder Drake with the decreased spawn timer on that one. Ooh, potential classic Death Pusher. Now, it's worth mentioning that because of Nico's Twin Shadows, as well as the Flash coming up, that Flash Pop Blossom threat is nothing short of massive. Well, as that Baron falling off here, game has returned to a point of stalemate. Still about a 3,000 gold lead for Fruition, but that does not matter. It all comes down to the execution on the team fight for both of these squads, which is an advantage very firmly in the hands of Lakeside.
kind of a stalemate here. We're waiting for that Elder Drake to come up. It should be coming up soon, and I think that's where our next fight's going to be. Both teams have about almost an equal amount of dragons. Lakeside with one more, so they're both going to want to make sure. It's going to be huge for Lakeside and Fruition, but I think the main objective is to make sure the other team doesn't get it here.
Oh, without a doubt. Going to be coming on through here. Still looking at about 30 seconds until that spawns, very close to the timer on that Elder Drake, and that's huge. Now it does have the teleport, maybe looking for the flank on that 9 and 2 Urgot. Worth mentioning, Guardian Angels have come back, will be ready to use here. Going to be a very potent tool if the fight is favorable for this squad. Oh my god, look at that silver damage. There's the engage coming on through, popping on the hunt. That's a Nautilus going to the backline. Cataclysm coming on down. There's the flash, teleport channeling from now. That's a pop blossom onto 3. The immediate clinch from Loki Dosi will matter. Does manage to get on out of the backside. That's Cat going on down, but still a 2-4-0 so far. Looking for this tower, forcing him on back, and that's a big team fight win off the engage from Lakeside Gaming.
Yeah, Lakeside have a great initiation there. They saw the Urgot top, and they knew they would have 5v4 until he teleported. Yeah, he had teleport up, but it's still going to take... By the time he was in, most of the team fight was over. I believe Lakeside already had 2 kills at that point. So Lakeside knew they could just run that over 5v4. It looks like they're going to start up the Elder Drake.
Well, the big thing is this 300 CS Sivir win condition coming on through here. That Sivir damage at the beginning of the fight just absolutely mulched the life bars of Loki Dosi, of Tilted, coming on through here, and that's an easy Elder Dragon take. Baron already on the table. They're forced to start it up. They haven't been able to go back to base yet, but it's a 3 versus 5 coming on through. Forced to back up, potentially seed this Baron. This could be what makes or breaks it for Fruition. They've got to give it an attempt. No, they're just giving it up. This is the death knell for this squad. That Baron, that Elder Dragon empowered team fight damage too much for them to take. And now that we are nearly at 40 minutes, this is the team fight of Lakeside. Their composition come fully online to take over this game.
Yeah, and I don't blame Fruition for wanting to back off of that. It was a 3v5, and the side of Lakeside had that Elder Dragon buff, so they would have won that team fight regardless, I think. So I feel like if Fruition tried to contest that Baron and 3 of those members died, that might have been game right there and then.
Right, and I mean, but at the same time, is it game right here and now? I mean, you're looking at a 2,500 gold disadvantage for a squad that is simply inferior in terms of team fighting, and with this coordination that we've been seeing, as well as the bodyguarding by Dark Cat, by Boom Hunter, to keep these carries alive, what opportunity remains for this Fruition squad? It's looking like a really nasty downhill for them here, but hope still remains as ever.
I feel like they should switch out the Azure and the Nico lanes, mostly because the teams seem to be looking top lane, and Nico has that TP advantage, where Azure does not. So if they do get collapsed, I don't know. Lakeside is strong right now, that's sure, but I don't know if they can win a 5v4.
So this is the opportunity. You have to go in right now. Try that fight if you're Fruition before the Nico, before the Azir can join. That's got to be your opportunity, but they're not taking it. The fear is there. Nico taking that top inner tower. Gold advantage still ballooning. Man, the teamwork here from Lakeside is just phenomenal. I love seeing that, and it's doing a lot of work for them. Ooh, that's Sivir damage. Nothing to scoff at now. They're going to be forced to seed this inhibitor tower, and they really can't afford to give up anything more than that. They're forced to fall back. Maybe look for that Elder Dragon to fall on off here. And there it goes. This is the opportunity that they need. It's going to take a huge play for them to take this fight, but now it's their last opportunity. The Baron push coming on through. They have to try to make the engage. Urgot rolling on in now. Does have that flash. Can land the binding in onto the J4. Popping that Gargoyle Stone Plate, but going to get ground up. That's a huge Fear Bomb coming on down to multiple members. Looking to go on in, but that's a 0 coming on through. Yuki Bunny drops so very, very low into the back lane. It's Urgot, but going to be resurrecting. Forced on back here. Will be dropping. Will fall. Yuki Bunny falls, but here's the Pop Blossom obliterating one. Looking for a second. The revive from Dorjan. Azir cleans it up easily. It's a 2 versus 3. Coming on through here, tilted, forced on back. Loki still alive on this. Kaisa still healing. There's still a chance. Looking for that slow, but that's the teleport coming on through from Ratload, who has healed up. This Nico is huge. Wow, that Azir damage cleans up the Morgana. Kaisa, killer instinct coming on through there, but that's the hourglass pop. Looking for the disengage coming on through. Finds that Patty's wagon, and Ratload look for the end here. Loki Dosi getting so much damage onto Boom Hunter. Looking to ward them off the Nexus, but the death times are so long, and that Baron-empowered push is unstoppable. They're crushing the Nexus. It's going to be Lakeside Gaming taking a dramatic Game 1 victory. Woo!
Yeah, and like we said, it was just a race against time there. Fruition, I would have liked to see them play maybe a little bit more aggressive early on in the game. They played pretty aggressive, but some of these fights, I think they just had to keep pushing it, especially when they had that lead, because as soon as Lakeside got a couple of advantages, they were just able to take the game from them.
Right, 100%. A lot of this comes down to, I mean, by and far, some incredible pop blossoms from Ratload's top lane Nico. That is what changed the game. And around that Baron, incredible pop blossom, bit of a misplay from Tilden. That was all it took to set it spiraling totally out of control.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this damage too. That Sivir had almost 500 or 5,000 more damage than everyone else in the game. Just seeing that late game Sivir come online, I'd be surprised if it wasn't banned maybe game.
Right, absolutely. And we will be going to Game 2 in just a few more moments. We'll see you all shortly for the second game here, and it is going to be an exciting game if this first one is any indication. We'll see you all in just a few more minutes here on the Nightfall Gaming League Twitch channel. Don't touch that dial. Good evening and welcome back, everyone. We are here for the second game of tonight's series. It's going to be Lakeside versus Fruition. Getting that side swap in here, Lakeside Gaming with an absolutely phenomenal comeback. Going to be taking game one here, moving on to a second. Already in the Pro Draft pick and ban, I'm Gas Pump, joined by my phenomenal co-caster, Alustic. How you doing, Alustic?
I'm doing pretty good. Surprised that we don't see the Silver ban coming out. I thought it was a huge win in game one. And Fruition's actually going to ban out the own Morgana that they played, probably thinking the LSG plays the same thing.
I mean, Morgana certainly is a strong support pick as well. I'm not sure if the mid lane... See, the thing with the mid lane Morganas is very strong in the early game, but they lacked so much damage early on in the... later on into the game, that it became a humongous liability for them, even with those utility items picked up. You're going to be seeing the Jarvan 4 once again picked up for Dark Cat. I mean, that was such a huge playmaker for him. Dark Cat really able to get into the backline, lock off some of those targets, and play as bodyguard to these champions. Also, going to be seeing Fruition picking up the Sivir for themselves in this second game, looking to adjust their playstyle away from that early game dominance.
Yeah, and another thing we see coming out from Fruition is they're getting rid of that Urgon, switching that Aatrox. Going to be a better matchup if LSG does pick that Nico, which it looks like they might. Yep, they lock in the Nico, so I think Aatrox is going to have a lot better matchup into that than the Urgot would.
Right, for sure. Going to be... So, the thing is, the Nico can do a variety of things in a variety of... I mean, you can still play that Nico in the mid lane. Not super optimal, but that top lane Nico on hit or the AP build, both are still things you can do. Galio going to be locked in here, and that is an interesting flex. Can go mid, much more of a support in this current patch.
Yeah, they got two flexes here. They have the Nico and the Galio, so Nico can go either top or mid, and Galio can go either mid or support. Trying to keep the other team not wondering where they're gonna go, kind of splitting up the picks. Looks like they're gonna ban the Kai'Sa.
I think that's a good choice, especially against the Sivir. That Kai'Sa damage isn't something that Sivir can really realistically deal with. The Kennen ban as well, I think, would be a smart choice, especially as that Kennen's teamfight engage something very strong as well, similar vein to Nico. Fruition going to be looking for that Sejuani jungle, locking that in here in the last choice of that first rotation. So, I think a big thing that's interesting here is that you're going from the Olaf to the Sejuani. Well, Sejuani not quite as much of an early game powerhouse. That level 6, that Glacial Prison is ridiculously powerful as a teamfight tool, as a pickoff choice. And you've seen the Azir ban as well. That was a major reason for LSG's victory in the last game. Patty Swaggin's Udyr. Pardon me, Patty Swaggin's Azir. That's the one, not Bearman, Birdman. Coming through here, and despite having kind of a rough early game, dealing a preposterous amount of damage towards the end of that set and really locking in that victory for Lakeside.
Yeah, that Azir and Sivir coming in from Lakeside Gaming last game was probably two of the main reasons they won that game. Both were able to just scale up into late and just become powerhouses. Fruition looking to take that Sivir and ban away the Azir, making sure that's not going to happen game.
Right. I think that's a wise choice. Thresh going to be the support lock-in matching with the Sivir. Curious to see how this goes. Galio can't be CC'd during his Justice Punch, right? Or can he?
I don't believe he can, but I think the two main things for the Thresh pick are that both Morgana and Sivir are banned. Those are going to be two of Thresh's main counters in the bot lane, so I think this opens up the pick for Thresh for Fruition. Xayah coming out.
I really like the choice for the Xayah here. The untargetability that comes down during that Feather Storm is such a huge ability, especially for dodging out of the way of the Sejuani ult or a well-placed flash Thresh hook. It's a good call.
And LSG looking to finish up their last pick here.
Oh.
They're hovering the Ornn, which I don't think we've seen in a while. And they're gonna lock it in.
Yeah, dude. I love seeing Ornn. That team fight is just absolutely gnarly. But it's all about surviving that top lane. Now that we've confirmed Galio for the supportive role, it's going to be Ornn versus the Aatrox. Aatrox is more than capable of totally running away with this game.
Yep, I'm interested to see how this Ornn's actually going to play off into the Aatrox. Nico versus LeBlanc mid. Seen a lot of LeBlanc recently, especially in the pro scene during MSI. So I'm interested to see what Fruition's going to do with her.
Right, and I mean, LeBlanc is a great choice, especially if you're looking for the pickoff against the Nico. As I mean, the Xayah has some ability to dodge out of there, but that's going to cost the ult. Nico, you get it with that LeBlanc damage, you're donezo.
I do like both of these mid-legged picks because they're both really good at roaming. So I'm interested to see how they're going to affect the side lanes. I'm interested to see if they're going to go, if the Nico's going to go top and help this Ornn, and if I'm interested to see the LeBlanc go bot lane and see what he can get for kills on the Xayah again.
For sure, for sure. I'm going to be saying that, though, as we do get ready to go with this champion select. We'll be right back in just a few minutes with this pulse-pounding, heart-stopping action in this series. Can Lakeside Gaming take it in a clean 2 matches where Fruition battle back, bring us to a second win, as well as a third game in this series? Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. We'll see you all shortly on the Nightfall League Twitch channel. Good evening and welcome back, everyone. We're here for game number 2 of this best of 3 series between Lakeside Gaming and Fruition Esports coming on through you. It's a classic stat coming on down by the Fruition squad, looking for potential invade. Now, after the first game, we did see Lakeside Gaming take a dramatic turnaround into a win, putting up 1-0 in the series. We were looking for Yuki Bunny, going to be forcing that flash out already. Hook goes just a little bit wide, looking for the Chains of Corruption, and onto the Zaya. The continued play is here, looking for that electrocute, finding that damage, looking to continue this play, but the cooldown's not quite there. The rest of the team looking to collapse, and Yuki Bunny still down a major summoner spell already at level 1 into a lane with such CC as the Thresh.
Yeah, I think that flash, though, was almost perfectly timed. If he waited maybe a second later, that probably would have been the death, or at least both.
100% Dunzo if that goes through.
Yep,
so,
especially...
Yes?
I forgot what I was going to say.
It's gone.
My thoughts just vanished.
Yeah, goodbye. You were our favorite train of thought, but you have derailed. All right, going to be seeing a mirrored red start for both of these junglers. Sejuani going for that as well. Going to be seeing some interesting jungle paths coming through here for both of these junglers. Both have that potential for a level 2 gank coming on through. Sejuani with that CC off that charge, as well as the J4 classic flag and drag combo. Ooh, so worth mentioning, Patty Swaggin, of course, going to be in the mid lane on this Nico. Almost certainly going to be seeing a higher damage Nico in the last game. It's worth mentioning that, oh, that's the hook coming on through. Already wanting this. It's going to be the Galio taunt going on through with quite a lot of damage. Already down into Yuki Bunny. Whew.
Yeah, I'm I'm ready to see a bunch of hooks, especially in this lane with that flash being down. If Thresh can land just a couple more hooks, we're seeing the Jarvan come down
Right.
bot for maybe a level 2 gank.
Ooh, looking
Or
for
level
it. Shiver does not have the spell shield up yet. Gonna get locked down. Gonna get blown to smithereens. Finds the first blood onto the Xayah, looking for that flay out from the Thresh. But Phoenix Main able to walk away. Pitches that hook. Not going to find anything else except for that first blood down onto the Lakeside Gaming AD carry.
And Dark Cat with a really smart play there. They thought that they had the advantage with the flash, and then they just weren't prepared for the Jarvan to come in, especially level 2, because they were so overextended just trying to get that hook out.
Ooh,
He's going
J4
mid
is
now.
here looking for Tilted, forcing that flash out of the LeBlanc, but here's Dorjan. That's a route coming on through. There's the flash, looking for an escape, looking for one more auto attack, seals the kill. Dark Cat dropping real low. Dorjan looking for the trade kill, coming on back through. Maybe wants the Nico. Gonna be missing with that. Gets that snare, finding some more damage. And Patty's Wagon with the cleanse rather than the ignite, not able to take that kill. But yes, it's gonna be another 1 kill advantage on that trade coming through for Lakeside. Already hot off the blocks in the second game.
Yeah, if Patty's Wagon had that ignite there, I feel like that could have been a kill. He does have to go to cleanse just because of the Sejuani, LeBlanc, and Thresh roams that could endanger him. But I feel like if he had that ignite, that definitely could have been a 2-for-1 in the mid lane.
Right, exactly. Got to play for the long game. A little less greedy. Not a bad idea coming on through. LeBlanc going to get snared on up there. While Patty Swaggin juking and jiving on out of that damage. Tilted. Maybe a little bit true to his name here. Already down once in that mid lane.
Ornn and Aatrox just trying to farm up a little bit in the top lane. Aatrox playing a little bit back, mostly trying to farm with his Q ability. Ornn does surprisingly amount of damage early games, so...
Right, I mean, that's just the base damage is talking with that percent health damage on that Bellows Breath coming on through here. The Brittles Kraken with the auto attack also pretty effective, getting that damage in and really making a statement here. And looks like Ratload understands this champion pretty darn well. Top of that Nico we saw in the first game.
Tilted down in the bottom tri-bush with both of the bot laners from Fruition. Hoping that maybe the Sejuani's coming down too. They're hoping that someone's going to come ward. It looks like the Galio might.
Ooh, looking for this Boom Hunter. Going to be forcing back. What a great flash. Looking for that. There's the taunt coming on through. You're going to get pulled on back, finding that damage. Dropping very low, but that's Dorjan getting the kill. Tower shot taken by Tilted, but a great kill. Wow, and what incredible presence of mind to set up that gank. And such a good flash from Phoenix Main to stop that Justice Punch and make that play happen in the first place.
Yeah, that was a great flash because after that Justice Punch, if that gone away, he would have been safe. So that flash just to stop it and then the flay back into the team was just an amazing play.
Phoenix Main is actually such a Chad. Like,
we see Dark Cat also taking the Krugs in the top lane. They might try to look for the Aatrox in the top lane.
Right. Oh, so the Nico is a great champion into this LeBlanc. That snare coming on out, easily able to lock that LeBlanc down and prevent her from going straight back to her original distortion spot. And the potential for that to really screw with the LeBlanc and prevent her from safely escaping out is absolutely something to look at as we get further and further into this game.
Dark Cat taking the entire top side of the jungle away from the Sejuani too. Everything except the red, I believe. It's going to be able to put her back pretty much a good amount because both her bot side is gone. Oh, he left one tiny crow.
That's the worst, because then you gotta do that walk of shame to clear out the last chicken, and it's like 5 gold. You know, not even really worth it. It's like when you gotta get out of your car to pick a dime up off the ground. It's just hashtag not worth. Sejuani going back to base before that red buff spawns. I don't know what the timer is on that specifically, but she's going to be picking up that Bomby Cinder Dorjan there, getting some extra tankiness, extra clear ability with that magic damage, looking real strong there. Really like those particle effects on the LeBlanc's IG skin there.
Yeah, the Invictus skins are just done really well. I like most of them.
I'll tell you, like, it's one of those things where I'm sitting on the Kaisa shard right now for that skin because it looks so darn good. Just take the long haul into getting that one cracked into a permanent. But with that being said, we've hit kind of a lull in this game, despite about a 1,000 gold lead all said and done for Lakeside. This is far from a crushing advantage.
Yeah, it's pretty even here. Both teams with 2 kills. Lakeside with a little bit of a gold league, about 1,000, but not too big.
Right, and I think a big thing here is ult's just about to come online for these members. You're going to be seeing Dorjan as well as the bot lane. We'll be picking those up here real soon. Darkcat already has that Cataclysm from the bonus experience. This could be a major gank attempt. Loki Dosi does have the flash, but Phoenix main does not. This is a dead Thresh off the gank coming through. Boom Hunter, the one taking that kill. Maybe not ideal, but still going to be a kill secured. Now up 3-2, another 1,500 gold lead for this squad. Getting these plates taken down as well in the tower. That's one of those plays where the pink ward in the bush, the setup from Boom Hunter, very, very smart there.
Yeah, I feel like Phoenix main was a little bit overextended too, as Sivir was kind of a good amount back. Obviously, he didn't know that Jarvan was there, so it's kind of unexpected.
Yeah, that's just that tough thing when you're a little bit behind in pressure. Pink ward is already down. Drake gonna get started up. They do have positioning on this. Ornn has the teleport in case of a fight. Gonna be going back to base with that recall to get some mana in case that Call of the Forge God is necessary to stop a contest. But it looks like that won't be the case as Sejuani is forced on back. Easy Drake pickup, and that's a first Ocean Drake. That'll have a lot of value throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, Ocean Drakes are really good, especially in the early game, because a lot of times if you don't have a health pot, you can just sit in lane and just regain a lot of that health and mana.
Ooh, Pop Blossom pop by the Nico going on through, looking for this play. Does force the flash with
nice
that
flash.
ult. Yeah, part of me wants to say that there's a world where you eat that and then try to Captain Jack cleanse it, but I think the flash saving at least that one summoner spell, not a bad way to go about it as well. Getting that root down in onto Tilted. Chains Landing does still have the cleanse. And I mean, this is just classic hashtag LeBlanc things.
Yeah, you just W in, chain them, Q them, and then W out. Great for trading.
Say it with me now. Counterplay. Alright, so top lane has been kind of an island, but still the Aatrox down just a little bit in terms of CS to rat load on this Ornn. I really like that. Pardon me, the Bramble Vest pickup. Wheel coming on through there, looking for the Cataclysm Flash, already used by now.
Popping the
Does
Aatrox
to get out of that, but finds the kill. Aatrox ult being changed to only activate off takedown is a huge nerf to the survivability that Aatrox in the solo lane, and now pops the Flash and still gets dropped at the end of the play.
Yeah, that Aatrox change in the top lane really did affect him, especially in that play right there. He popped the ult, but since he did get takedown, he's not going to get that revive that we're used to seeing.
And I mean, can be looking for a potential play for your teleport. It gets channeled. Dorjan does not have the ultimate here. Can be looking for a stun. Will find it, but it's going to be tough for now to follow up. Looks like it's just going to be some damage onto that. The pop up on back. May want to try for this play, but here's Darkcat looking for a counter gank if that commitment is made by the side of Fruition, but it's backed off on. And Fruition, speaking of backed, already backed into a corner here. 2,000 plus gold down already at 10 minutes. And I mean, every lane looks to have a pretty good position as far as this game is concerned. And I mean, while Fruition can go the distance better with his composition, it's going to be a tough one, especially with the leads already brokered some of these lanes.
Yeah, a lot of this is CS differential too. Like if you look at the bot lane, that's about 10 to 15 CS at 10 minutes. Another 15 in the top lane at 10 minutes. Coming in huge for LSG actually.
Ooh, Patty Swaggin looking for that snare. Not gonna find it, of course. And I mean, those leads a big deal. You'll be looking for a potential escape here. Pop Blossom coming on through, only finds Dorjan. The damage not quite there yet. Swing and a miss, but here comes that ult. Galio coming on through there. Pop up lands. That's going to be killed. Turned on over, but here's Darkcat looking for Dorjan. Boom Hunter is there on the Galio, finding the damage. The ignite is ticking. Dorjan looking for the escape. One more Dragon Strike could be enough to lock that kill down. Is going to find it. Phoenix main could be in trouble here. The taunt going to land. Does have that aftershock healing coming on through. Cataclysm falls. Phoenix main does have the flash to get out to safety. will pop that hourglass, will be falling. No! Gets the flash on out. Dark Cat gets the heal from the Xayah. Tilted, going on back. Maybe want to try something. The hook doesn't land. Aatrox coming in, looking for this extended play. On the backside, that's going to be Boom Hunter in trouble. Does have that flash to try to escape over the wall. Tilted going to be eating that chain, going in onto the Xayah, coming on through, but that's a huge kill with the return of the feathers. One more auto would be able to get that double kill for the Xayah, coming on through onto that Shiver, and it's gonna be Lakeside taking a huge advantage in that fight. The outplays were so real in that extended battle.
Yeah, that fight was just everywhere. It started in mid, then it
Oh, the guard knows! Just Hextech GLP things. Oh,
yeah, that fight was just everywhere. It started in mid lane, then we ended up going to Roosters, and then like back to mid lane and top lane, and that fight was just everywhere.
A big thing too is the fact that at the end of the play, Boom Hunter survived. They just couldn't lock down those kills, and it was very tricky, and it looked like it was certainly Lakeside gonna take that, and it looked again like Fruition might be able to turn the play around. And it just came down to some of those outplays and some oversteps by the side of Fruition once they had a little bit of an advantage there. Yuki Bunny obliterating them with that Xayah ultimate coming back through. That pass through on the blade collar, more than enough to cut them down to size.
Yeah, a lot of people underestimate that Xayah damage early, but if he gets an ult and then a blade collar, that's just going to cut right through you.
Oh, currently looking at a 4,000 gold lead already into this game for Lakeside. Just some crushing advantages already, and it's going to take some real work to get him back into this game. Sivir and Fresh both down 0-2 in that bottom lane, and Yuki Bunny has been a major recipient of that gold. And Xayah already with a completed Essence Reaper, looking real good here. Right, turret plating now falls off at that 14-minute mark. Pantyswagon has that GLP. The GLP to kill Tilted is, I would say, kind of a statement about the way that this game in particular has been going. There's Drake on the table. We'll be starting that up, clearing out some of the vision. Dorjan is here, does have the ultimate, is level 9. Pantyswagon, no cleanse up quite yet. We'll get that Rudon off. Dragon secured.
Looks like LSG is just going to try and walk out of here.
Right, I mean...
But maybe
and it's,
Dark Cat?
Right, it's easy. It's the easy play to make, all things considered, simply because you have the advantages. You don't have to be forcing any of this stuff. Just an easy take overall. That's going to be the ult from Dorjan going wide. That X-Smithy caliber play coming on through. Pop Blossom going to get rocked on here. That's going to be in onto Dorjan here. Comes up, pop up. That's huge. Forcing him on back. Here's that ult. Call of the Forge guy landing in onto the LeBlanc. Looking for that distortion cooldown is back available. But wow, what a turn from the top mid duo from Lakeside Gaming.
Yeah, Ratload with the great rotation there. Ready to back up the Nico in case of the Sejuani ult.
Looking to go in, but that's going to be Dark Cat from over the wall. Phoenix main annihilated. Looking for this play. It's going to be Galio coming on into the back line. Finding those auto attacks, but here's now on that Aatrox. Looking for the damage. Going to be popping Dark Cat, but that's tilted over the wall. Coming through. They're looking for Boom Hunter. Does have that flash. Will pop that Hourglass. Looking for an escape. Flashing over the wall. Justice Punch on out to safety, but he is still in danger behind enemy lines. Turret shots coming on down. Still alive. There's Ratload. They're looking for an escape for that support, but Tilted almost certainly going to be over the wall. Now popping that flash. Not going to be finding the chains there. Is going to be getting some of that CC through the Chainsaw land, and that's a kill picked up by Tilted, but mid lane tower is the price paid for that pickup.
Yeah, I think LSG just a little overzealous there. They're diving near the inhibitor towers. It's only 15 minutes. Yeah, you're ahead, but you still don't have those core items. It was close to blowing up the Sivir, but he was able to just get over the wall and throw a couple boomerangs back there. And the great rotation from that LeBlanc cutting off the rest of the team, too.
Mm-hmm. But still, I would say that if you have to give up a support death to take care of that mid lane tower at 16 minutes, that is a price you are willing to pay as... I mean, Lakeside, you get that down, you can start moving up that ward control. Going to be a brief pause coming on through here.
Looks like it's just going to get unpaused just as fast.
Yeah. Hopefully. So, talking about the game state here, Nico opting for, as we've seen, the Hextech GLP build, the slows. That damage is also nothing to sneeze at as far as the slow is concerned. So, alright, back in game already here. 16.5 on the clock.
I do want to talk about how both ADCs are actually going Estus Reaver. Estus Reaver got a buff to its base damage, making it a more viable option in terms of damage. So both electing to go that, get that mana, and they get that damage.
Right, both very valuable assets, especially with the Zaya's abilities really costing a lot of mana and requiring you to use them to really clean out these waves. Certainly a good tool here. And Sivir, as well as Georgian up here in the top lane. Loki Dosi looking to lock down some CS, but still 30 behind this Zaya. Yuki Bunny is putting out a show for tonight.
Yeah, this Zaya is huge right now. If you're the side of Fruition, you have to deal with that Zaya, and it's even harder, especially with her ult.
Right, and I mean that Featherstorm again locking down Yuki Bunny, who's now 2 levels ahead of Loki Dosi. Hook going wide there, and we see a 3-1-1 setup in the top lane here. I love seeing this Dark Cat looking to play bodyguard here, getting some great damage down onto this tower. Georgian is here, does have that ultimate. Looking for potential engagement. They're slow rolling it, like to see that, especially with Patty Swaggin looking to cheat on up past the LeBlanc. For potential engage here, looking to also get some vision in that Tri-Brush. No easy way for LeBlanc to come back into this.
Yeah, and with that Zaya not only having Featherstorms, he has these 2 tanky Galio and Jarvan right there to help peel for her, so it's even harder to get on that Zaya. Your best chance might actually be the LeBlanc, but she's going to be occupied mid with the Nico who's pushing in.
Right, and at this particular point of the game, I love seeing this setup because there's realistically nothing that Fruition is really capable of doing to... I'm getting some issues with the time bar there. That's unfortunate. I'm at 18:30, by the way. Looking for the hook. That's going to be coming on through in onto Yuki Bunny. Forced to pop that over the wall. Wow, that blade collar damage is enormous. Still no kills. Going over. There's the pop blossom into the back line. Now already getting a kill onto Yuki Bunny. But here comes that Call of the Forge God popping up too. Looking for more. That's going to be a taunt. Phoenix main is going down. Rat loaded to pick up. That's a Resurrect coming through. And onto now. And that Aatrox to pop up coming through. That's the kill. 2 going over in exchange for 1. But Yuki Bunny had quite a bit of gold bounty on him right there. And oh, wow. What a huge play. The call out from Patty Swaggin for the double kill on that Nico to knock down Tilted was enormous.
Yeah, Ratlord had a really good ult in that fight too, knocking up the Thresh and the Aatrox, able to get 2 kills off that.
That was really good. And I mean, it sucks that Yuki Bunny got collapsed and they just didn't have enough vision to really make that rotation like they tried, but it came down to the advantage. And I want to mention that Zaya's Blade Collar did a disgusting amount of damage in that fight. Got the ult across multiple members and pulled back through. And then at the end of the fight, it's tilted with a disrespectful distortion, getting popped like a grape by that damage from Patty Swaggin. Just absurd.
Yeah. That Blade Collar in a small area too, so like there's not much you could do to dodge it. It's just gonna rip through everyone.
The classic Twitch ult effect. And it was just a questionable place to pick a fight from the side of Fruition, but it was what they had, and they did have some vision control there. But that gold lead enormous, and I mean just the team fighting utility coming on through. Ornn also upgrading his Sunfire cape already. What a Chad. Dude, it's Ratload the one and only. This Ornn is just popping off this game.
Yeah, he's doing great this game. I want to see him start to upgrade some of those Zaya items, especially like if you can get that Zaya to just keep steamrolling. I don't know much that they could do to stop.
And again, the continued aggression is the name of the game here. Looking for potential dive onto the tower, but no. They just want the structure. It's 3-0 in terms of tower. 6,000 gold up, forcing Phoenix main to flash over that wall to escape from the GLP burst from Patty Swag on this Nico. The roam pressure from this mid laner is suffocating.
The only problem we're seeing right now is when they're setting up for Baron is that the Aatrox right now has TP advantage. Ornn would depending on where he TP, be able to stop him. But Ornn cannot get there himself without walking. So if they look to fight, Aatrox is going to have the TP advantage, making that a 5v.
Right, and I mean, a lot of this just comes down to when and where you choose to fight, but the options are getting slimmer and slimmer for this squad, who is now 4 towers, 6,000 gold down, and down a game in this best of 3 series. I mean, we see Fruition here with their backs against the wall, and I know that they are a team who has the potential to turn this one around, but the question is, can they?
Great
for that Cataclysm coming on through here. Tilted could be in trouble. Deal coming down from Dorjan, pulling him on back into the fight. That's the Ignite coming on through. Pop Blossom drops. That's a kill going on through. The shield is huge, but Sivir does get that trade kill. Phoenix Main will fall, looking for Tilted. Going on through. Dragon Strike gets that kill from Dark Cat. Does not have the red buff to get the slow onto Loki Dosi, but still, it's a 1 for 3. Once again, the fight taken handily by the side of Lakeside, and gonna be going on to that Baron. Oh, no Dorjan. It's literally just Loki Dosi. And now, fighting to try to keep a handle onto this game. It's a major disadvantage. Is there any chance they can contest this Baron? Ooh, now does have that flash on the Aatrox. You gotta try for it. Not going to be going into the pit quite yet. Is not going to give it the chance. Great call of the Forge God will send them packing, and the Baron buff secured, along with Nico respawning, means that buff on all 5 members of Lakeside now screaming out to an 8,000 gold lead and looking to take some more of those towers and lock down a 2-0 victory in this semifinal.
Yeah, Fruition's just running out of options here. They have to do something, but they're not quite sure what they can do at this. It's hard to get picks with... It's not hard to get picks with their comps, but Lakeside's just traveling as a group, so that makes it just as hard. And they can't really afford to T-fight, especially when Lakeside has this Baron. For now, I think you just have to turtle until the Baron's down, get some Vision out there, and hope to get a pick off.
For sure, but it is without a doubt an uphill battle here. No Drake spawning, total jungle control across this series, really, by Dark Cat. This Jarvan pick, once again, coming up huge for his squad. Ornn upgrades across the board. 2 items for the Ornn out, the Abyssal Mask upgrade as well. Zhonya's upgrade for the Nico. Patty Swaggin, looking forward to be using that one in some of these fights. Bottom lane now the focus here with that outer tower already dropped fairly low. The Baron empowered push coming on through here. They'll want to try and crack the inhibitor. They do have some of that pushing power since the rapid fire cannon coming through for Yuki Bunny, giving them that extra auto attack range, a major tool in these sieges. Just the push is exhausting and inescapable coming through. They got a nice wave stacked in the bottom lane. Mid lane isn't pushing up here. They need to be careful with this. Make sure that they don't get hit by the hook while coming through. You're looking for the damage. Clearing out the wave with that classic distortion face check. Jarvan going to be going to collect that wave mid lane. And the wave control is something that we have seen maybe be a little shaky for both teams, looking to end the game by a siege across this series.
These 2 air drakes coming in on the side of Lakeside too are going to be huge because it's when that movement speed is tripled, it just makes rotation between the waves so much quicker, so much faster. Right. They're going to pick up the Inferno Drake here, which is going to make that Xayah monster.
Absolutely. Looking at the last game of the Drake, last Drake of the game will be a 3rd air dragon should they choose to take it, or if the game even goes that long. Garden Hose going out from Patty Swaggin. Again, Dark Cat just moving lane to lane into 3-2 setup. Got the Galio in the mid lane as well. Some of those beefy boys there. Maybe ward off and engage here. Dorjan, that hook was so close to landing on the rat load. And that reinforcing wave here. Got to be splitting their attention between mid and bottom. This tower could go down here. This will be the final push that does get knocked down by that demolish from rat load. Inhib now under threat. Does not look like they'll be able to contest this. But going out will land in under Ratlow. That's going to be a major snare in under the back line on to the Sivir, forcing them back. That's the call of the Forge God. Will be an easy inhib take. Maybe transferring over to mid there. Ratlow eating that hook will be taking quite a lot of damage. Forced to flash, but this is going to be the mid lane play coming on through. That's a taunt on the LeBlanc. Gonna be annihilated. Dark Cat picking up that kill. Reinforcing wave from mid lane will be here shortly. Featherstorm coming on out. Pop Blossom is here. Will delete. Now that's the Cataclysm. Into the back line. Phoenix main the next target. Sivir going to be forced to run away. One more auto gets that kill. It's only Dorjan left up with a blinking health bar, and it's the double kill for the Xayah. Coming on through with the ace, with the finish. 2 waves of minions will signal the end of this best of 3 series in 2. It's gonna be Lakeside taking it over Fruition.
Yeah, just absolutely destroying that last team play. I would be surprised if Tilted was not tilted after that.
Oh, for
just
sure.
Having all 5 members just collapse on him in the inhibitor tap.
Face is the place. That's gonna be a major pickup there for the side of Lakeside, who, as a matter of fact, are going to be heading into the finals here. What a huge victory for them today. And, I mean, they're going to be playing the winner of tomorrow night's series. I believe that's, let's take a look at we'll take a look at the schedule here, but they'll be playing the winner of tomorrow night's game in the finals. That's an exciting one as well. You won't want to miss that game. With that being said, though, we have reached the end of our broadcast. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all the players who came in tonight, all of you viewers who were here for the exciting match, and a big shout out to Nightfall, who was kind enough to bring me into the games tonight. I've been Gaspump, joined by my phenomenal co-caster, Elucid. Thank you, Elucid, so much for coming out to cast tonight. It was a blast to work with you.
Yeah, I really had fun watching and enjoying these games. Both teams just played extremely well, and it was a really fun matchup to watch. Really glad to have Nightfall bring me on for this cast.
100%. With that being said, we have reached the end of our stream. We'll see you all later here on the Nightfall League for semifinals tomorrow, and then finals coming up soon. It's exciting, and you won't want to miss it.